You can see here Chris delivers this, and Toller is searching for how to push the scene forward a little bit. And so then, Chris moves on to explain it, and then we jump into the scene with him and
Yeah.
Dickie. You know, so I love the fact that
This is how
Ivory is
Ivory spends half the movie.
like, oh, well, here we go with Dickie, and you can see him a lot better now. And I told him to remember everything he had to say, and so trying to remember it, he delivered this line just straight without any
Yeah.
pauses. There's somebody walking in the background; they have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
I
Oh
love
boy.
your walk back
Yeah, I
there.
don't know where I came up with the strut. I know the fact that the reason I'm holding the mask down is because it would fly up off my head if I didn't hold it down somehow.
Yeah. Well, actually, that character, the Flash, was based off of a character in a film I did in high school called Mr. Happy. The character was named Mr. Happy, and he was a bad guy character in a goofy film like this, and he wore a bag over his head, and he changed bags based on his feelings and his expressions. But here, I love the way that I come around you. I was filming this actually, and I filmed that, and then I came in to Toller, and you ran behind
This
me, and
took
then when I turned
forever.
around
This took forever though to get that done.
to get it,
To get that shot.
oh yeah,
And then here I
yeah,
am 5 meters away.
yeah.
That's where I ran off to, under the bridge.
Yeah, that's definitely just like you can see in the background basically where we were filming. You get beat up.
And I was mad because I was like, dude, we're like right across the street from the police department, the campus police department. I was like, do you please check and make sure that no car is coming before we do this? I'm like,
I'm sure I gave you one of my famous "Let's do it for the art" speeches, and
I
everything
don't think
worked
I even got that.
out.
I do remember being hungover really badly when we shot this because Halloween was the night before.
Oh, yeah, I remember a lot of this was filmed around Halloween, so Cody actually grew this beard because he planned on being Sabretooth for Halloween from the X Men movie, and I planned on being Wolverine. Later, you'll see me
And I
for
went
just a
as
second.
and I went as Judge Mathis. It was awesome. And by going as Judge Mathis, I mean I had a Judge Mathis shirt that I wore to the party.
Oh, there you are talking. I love Cody's reactions here. He was dead on with this
He was
character in
God, he
this
was
movie.
funny.
That definitely the whole ringmaster bit. And this is the first time you actually hear about what he does. You know, but here we see just kind of them in their regular college attire, I guess. But
But they
originally,
were running
yeah, originally
before.
they were running, and we had to cut the running scene because it was so loud in the gym where they were running the track in there. Here comes Andy. She was a great sport in this movie because she definitely did not want to play the autistic
Yeah,
retarded character because kept on asking how it was supposed to be approached, and I was just like, well,
that was about as much as you gave her. Was
yeah,
you're retarded.
you're retarded. You do it, you actress. And but she did great. She really did uh, figure out this part really well. So here comes the classic meeting scene of the guy who's been wanting to get up the guts to talk to the girl he really likes. So the way she gives him this stare and then just kind of a smile, and it's very blank, and she did great at portraying that. And I've seen her in a number of different roles, and it's just great to see her be able to tackle different roles like this. And then Toller with he is dead on with the whole idea of being nervous and trying to talk to this girl for the first time.
Yeah,
And he definitely doesn't catch on until
she's so
later in the
confused. Like
scene.
it's like talking to a Labrador or something.
There's he's he's just trying to get her to talk. And I know how that is when you're trying, how when you're trying to get a conversation started
Yeah.
with somebody and you just can't find a common ground. Oh, that's the worst, man. But we actually had two cameramen standing side by side and just shooting crossways. One filming Andy here, and the other filming Toller. And that was. I think that worked pretty well. I like the way that that turned out. Um, it was a lot of. I'm very much a fan of the more in your face type of shots and things like that, and right there next to him. So I thought that that turned out pretty well. And at some point in the background here, it might already happen, but there's some sort of siren.
Yeah.
I was
No, I cut that out.
I was worried. Well, there was a little bit of it that was with the dialogue or something. You can still hear it a little bit, but here there, she's just repeating everything he says. She ended up going with a lot of autism with her choice in this character. He's just struggling. So I
Taking the
guess around here it's probably very obvious that something's wrong with her. But then that was very classic the way that she ends up chucking the bottle. And we had a line right here where Toller says, he reads her papers.
You can sort of hear it, but barely.
Yeah, very, very much. We had to cut it down. You had to lower the volume because we heard the sound from the camera.
Yeah.
And so the reaction on that is great. Just him looking in the back of his head. That's great. So
She is immensely proud of this scene too, which is
she
pretty
is.
good.
That's good. I was worried because she really did not want to do that part at the very beginning there, but she really did well. So there goes Toller, very confused. He hit that dead on. And back to Bankheads.
Bankhead's reactions get calmer and calmer each time, and he hasn't even reacted all this time.
Well, actually, Ivory walks in here and says, "Dumb time," but that girl right there is Fia. She's the assistant director, and a girl that was gonna play Bankhead's girlfriend didn't show up, and so I asked Fia to do it, and Fia said the only way she would do it if we did more of a wide shot and didn't do any close-ups on her, and so that's why we had to have this shot from farther away. And here it just cuts to all of them sleeping at his apartment, which I think the idea of that is awesome. That they just all fall asleep at headquarters. And so here's the call for the final battle. I love the way that they assemble the good guy posse there, and then the bad guys just show up. The three of them. It's very much the opposite usually, where the bad guys have like a whole army and the good guys have two. But our good guys are quite a bit different, as you can see.
And Dickie's just walking with his arms on his hands on his hips.
And then your little strut that you were doing to get there.
Yeah.
I love these group shots. Ivory just looking straight at the camera. And then we turn, see Dickie.
Dickie.
This field we had to film here very early because usually when it's warm out, there are people playing football and throwing frisbees and everything all over this big area, and also sometimes there's band practice in the fall when we were shooting this, and it's still warm here at Valdosta State where this was filmed, and so
It looks like he's ready to kill somebody out there. He's like, I can't wait to hurt somebody.
I love the pre-big fight action dialogue.
Yeah.
That's cheesy and then your line to set it off, and that makes Dickie laugh, and Dickie laughing sets off Clint getting angry, and it sets off the whole fight. That's kind of our logic, I guess, in the whole thing. And then Clint busts through and gets everything started. I love that shot, by the way. That's one
That's
of my
my
favorite
favorite thing
shots in
of
the movie.
Matt just
Yeah.
being. He can't defeat my nudity.
And then Ivory, he actually plays Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and he plays with those, and so he had them in his truck, and so we had him playing with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And as you can see, the scaffold in the background is accidentally there in the background, but that's what we were using to get our high angle shots. That's used for the band when they do practice in this area. Cody with his
Not doing
commentary.
anything, but I'm gonna direct the whole fight and I'm just. This looks really, really weird as I'm just on him, shaking myself.
Oh. I love Cody's reactions here, and Ivory just kind of. I think he was actually going through his deck, like
Yeah, he
sorting
was.
out. And at the end of this, we were trying to decide how to have Chris actually defeat Clint. We ended up just going with the same cone that Clint was throwing earlier in the movie. We had Chris throw it at him and knock him down. And that clearly just knocks out Clint
Yeah.
completely. There's Andy just happens to walk through and drop the CD, but we didn't get a lot of shots of that. So.
She would like me to mention that later on she had to bathe in the sink in the media center bathroom because her feet were really muddy.
Oh.
How they got that way, I don't know.
Well, the grass was all wet anyway, so I'm sure that had something to do with it.
She's a liar.
You can see the dew on the grass and all the footprints all through it. And Ivory comes up and just pinches his nipple and lifts up Chris.
That shot made in the trailer. That's my favorite shot in the trailer is when they did that. And it's timed perfectly with the beat of the drums.
Yeah, that was good. Here they go.
This is actually an actual cut in the video. That was not a cut that I put in.
That's pretty good. It worked out well. I do have to say that Cody's characterization a lot of times reminds me of the Riddler in Batman Forever.
Yeah.
I think that's some of what he was going for. Bad guy
Yeah.
here. But I love him summoning the fleas right here. That was very good. And just the sound effect.
This sound effect I searched forever for the sound effect again for the fleas. I wanted something to happen to where like because it's like I added in his echo, which now disappears just here because it was like I wanted it to be like something like only he could hear it, like
Yeah.
really it's only in his mind that his voice is echoing, but because the whole thing is that he's just trying to psych people out and they're all fake.
Yeah. Yeah, I love
This is amazing tirade right here about fleas.
his randomness right here. Highly populated areas.
Fleas don't have war.
Oh, hit to the face. That was a good hit, but I wanted them to actually hit him more, and they were so scared of hurting him, which happens a lot in fight scenes with people who aren't really trained in fighting scenes. So, but Toller was doing really well with his thinking that this was completely stupid, in the way that King takes this, and King taking it completely seriously. And then we go to Dickie and Bankhead and the way that they are. I love the way that they've been going here. And Dickie with his beads. There's Bankhead just kind of looking at him.
Really freaked out by this.
I think he gets really freaked out because I don't know what he was thinking when Dickie put the beads on him. I think that Bankhead later just said that he was just really weirded out by the whole thing, and then they just more beads.
Well, what's funny is a lot of these guys, like Dickie and Ivory, were all originally in a film that I was making last semester there was a documentary about Ultimate Frisbee, and we did like 2 hours. The film never got completed, but we did like 2 hours worth of confessionals and Dickie just went into this weird like whole sexual monologue about like ice cream, and just got I was like so freaked out by it, but it was hilarious.
Well, I definitely wanted that character back. That's why I asked him to do this film. Here we go into the scene that was actually supposed to go. It was supposed to go here, but it was supposed to go right after the scene that Toller and the girl met on the bridge. Toller and Andy, and Andy, she did really well there. But with Toller, I don't know, we just felt like it fit better, and I like the way that you edited this so that this scene comes after the fight, and they have this whole like girl talk. I was going for like a middle school girl slumber party type of feel with the chips being out and snacking and talking about
Christine's got the chips all over his stomach and chest and all that.
Yeah.
He's talking how he dated special girls.
How many special girls he dated in high school, which might or might not be a true story. There's Dickie at the bursary, and when you first see it, it seems a little bit random, but then it makes more sense when things go on. Ivory giving the advice about moving and getting married, and the thing is that this is all advice that I think these guys would probably actually give in a relationship. But
Bankhead's such a pimp. He's just like, just tell her what she wants to hear. Just keep it real.
then Chris King's phone, and he couldn't find it because he accidentally hid it under him or something while he was
chips are
talking.
falling down.
Yeah. But we actually had Robert standing behind him. Robert was one of the cameramen, and he was calling. I think it was either him or Fia calling Chris's phone, so he would pick it up. But Chris's delivery is dead on right here. With when he just talks about we need to get there quick. He's so serious about it, and then we need to ride.
We need to ride. Thank you.
All right. So then it cuts to their. I wanted this to be kind of their like superhero mobile. Like,
Yeah.
You know, they all get out and make this quick plan. I wanted Bankhead to be kind of an Alfred, like Batman's Alfred, you know. But they make this plan in 2 seconds, and there I am, and I had these mutton chops to be Dickie behind us, but mutton chops to be Wolverine for Halloween, and then I just get killed, and I'm laid down. And
Dickie's hands never come down.
And that was the movie. You know, the credits, you did great in putting this together, and I wanted Solarized originally, but something happened with that.
Solarized and Posterized really aren't that different. It's really it was called Posterized when I did this on Pinnacle.
Yeah.
The rest of it was on Premiere, but this part was on Pinnacle.
Well, I love the shots that you chose for the different people, and it turned out exactly the way I had pictured
I
it.
just like how my chest, like my name comes out of my chest as I open
Yeah.
up my coat there.
That worked well, and there's